hello there. Good evening there. How is everyone? It is good to see you, and it is good to be seen by you. How are you, folks? Let's say hello to everybody out there in TV land. Nuriochi, Gonzalo Lira's Bar Tab, Cooperative Waffles, Paladin Steve, and all the ships at sea. Hello, greetings. I am glad everybody's here. And I, being glad that you are here, am he who is known as Bill Sylvie, aka the Dungeon Delver, coming to you live, loud and clear on a Wednesday evening. I hope you guys are having an absolutely wonderful time right now. Am I a little blown out light-wise? Is this a little... Am I a little bright? Is this okay? I feel like I should cool the light over here down a little bit. That seems a little tangy. But you guys let me know. But anyway, welcome to the show. And listen, regardless of whether you like soft mood lighting or harsh studio lighting or whatever it is, if you haven't done so already, do me a favor and click the like button, click the subscribe button, and join us on this absolutely insane journey that we've been going on. And guys, I'm here to tell you that we are at 9,636 subscribers on this channel. We are hundreds, not hundreds and hundreds, not thousands, not thousands and thousands. We are merely hundreds of subscriptions away from hitting 10,000 subs, and I couldn't be happier about that. That is an absolutely wonderful thing, and I am going to adjust that, like, because that's actually hurting my head. So I'm gonna step over there and I'm gonna crank that way down. And I may even zoom out on the camera a little bit. We'll have to see. Hold on. There we go. That's a little better. Yeah, I think so. Anyway, thank you everyone for your patience. But anyway, yeah, so tonight's show is of course brought to you by me, the Dungeon Delver. We have merch. It is linked in the description down below. You guys should absolutely... I've been saying that for years, Gonzalo, that I need a lava lamp here on the show. I really do. I need a lava lamp behind me. But yeah, so it's brought to you by me, by our merch. It's brought to you by Crom, the character record organization manager software. That's right. If you need to get your first edition AD&Ds up to speed and running fast with a quickness, guys, look no further than Crom. Crom 1.9 Ultimate Gold XP Edition, by which I mean Experience Point Edition, is the final word in first edition AD&D character creation and curation. Crom solves all of your problems with first edition AD&D. You got somebody that's like, I want to play, but making a character, it's so difficult. Make a character for them in 3 seconds. 3 seconds. If you have to stop and think about their name, then it's 3 seconds that it takes. Not just 3, but 3 seconds. But guys, Crom is where it's at. If you're running or playing first, a trademark, that's right. That number is a trademark of the Gonzalo Lira Bar Tab Corporation, LLC. copyright TM, all rights reserved, used by permission. But yeah, if you've a need for the ultimate character creator for first edition AD&D, you're in the right place, because have I got a piece of software for you. So don't hesitate, don't delay, reach out to me, bsylvie@gmail.com, and get your copy of Crom. So that is those are our sponsors right now. I've had a busy day. Great chance just to ogle the bookshelves. Well, ogle away. Now, I will tell people, these are not props. Okay, this is not a set. Like, I didn't say, what will be the most visually appealing? I'm in literally the most comfortable spot I can be in my tiny little studio space to stream from. It just happens to be at the confluence of my D&D book collection. And this is, of course, is American Sign Language for D&D book collection, I believe. Well, TTRPG collection, because I've got more than just D&D here. But anyway, so feel free to ogle away. But we've got some stuff going on tonight. I want to address the elephant in the room, though. It's right up here on this shelf, little tiny one, little commemorative one from Bryant Denny Stadium, little elephant there. So now that I've done that, no, sorry, terrible joke. All kidding aside, my co-host, a guy who really has helped me get when you were, let me ask you something. When you were a little kid and you go to the beach, or even if you were in the pool and you didn't quite know how to swim yet, if you get down towards the deep end, you know, maybe you're 4.5, 5 feet tall at most, and you, like, your toes were just scraping the bottom, and you realize you're going to be in 8 feet of water in a minute, you know, or you're out at the beach and suddenly you're kind of just doggy paddling and your toes are kind of scraping the mud down there. Well, Rojo B and G, I will demo Crom if you want in just a few minutes. But when I was kind of moribund, when I was, shall we say, becalmed in the ocean of streaming, I really felt like, you know, the channel is the channel, and I haul myself in front of the camera every night, and I get, it is what it is. Oh, thank you, Nuriochi. Yes, Art Bell. I could talk about Art Bell. I could spin this off and talk about Art Bell for 2 hours, but I'm not gonna. But I'm gonna put a star in that, because I'm gonna talk a little bit about my favorite Art Bell in a little bit. But if you guys stay to the end of the show, and I appreciate you if you do, I appreciate you if you pop in, say hi, but I gotta go. I appreciate you. But if you stay to the end of the show, you're going to see in the wrap-up credits while Owl Bear plays, you're going to see co-host Kyle Schuon. Now, if you're new-ish by a matter of just a few weeks around here, you may have never seen a co-host. And you may think, is that co-host emeritus? Is that someone who's no longer with you in you know, the production sense or otherwise? Is that a joke? Like, haha, he doesn't have a co-host, so he just kind of picked that funny name. No. Kyle, the Viking Hat GM, is a guy I've known in an online sense for about 15 years now. Really sort of got to know. He is a solid dude, a great dude. I was supposed to sneak down to Australia and see him last spring, and I let it slip through my fingers. I hope to God he invites me again someday. I really do. I fell right on my face, and I let that get past me, and I hate myself for it. Kyle's got a lot on his plate right now, and it's keeping him away from joining us on Wednesday nights. And I miss hanging out with him and bullshitting with him because he's a good guy. And I look forward to his return. I really do. Kyle, if you're watching this, brother, we miss you, man. But I completely understand. So whenever you're ready, it's right here, the Ed McMahon seat, the Paul Schaefer bandstand. You know, I don't know. I've run out of co-hosts. The Doc Severinsen and the NBC Orchestra podium awaits you. So K Rose, that is a good question. I'm going to star that and I'm going to come back to that. That is a good question, K Rose. I'm sorry, K Rosa. So anyway, trust me, I'm the Gilligan, he's the skipper in that context, Omega Gambit. Or perhaps I'm the Thurston Howell and he's the professor. I don't know. But anyway, so I hope Kyle will be able to rejoin us. Now, the other elephant in the room that I wanted to talk about, guys. So I posted up a short video today because yesterday afternoon, Matt Mercer said something so colossally dumb that I had to address it. And in a nutshell, what he said was, if your characters are leaving a room where there's a MacGuffin that you want your story to progress, first of all, that is entirely the wrong language to use when talking about a TTRPG. All right. Rob Turner, good to see you. What you have to do is you have to say, oh, you feel a tug on your shoulder, and then you turn around. No, you don't. You don't do that. You don't rob players of autonomy in your game because you think you have a story to tell that's more important than their idea of exploring your world. Don't do that. That's bad. Okay? I don't think that's an acceptable kind of DMing. If you get hit with a spell, somebody casts command, turn. You know, charm person, hey, why don't you turn around? You know, some guy draws a sword and points it at you and says, turn around or I'll gut you. So that agency should never be taken away from players, guys. That should never be taken away from players. And I dropped a short about it. And hopefully, you know, Matt and the Critical Role people will be sanguine enough that the 10, 12-second clip I've got of him talking in there, I won't get, you know, struck for. I'm all about player agency, guys. All right. I'm all about player agency. Sometimes it sucks to suck. Sometimes you get charm person cast on you by a beautiful redheaded succubus in what should have been an abandoned temple of evil chaos outside the keep on the borderlands that you rendered safe years ago. And she invites you over and is very sweet and gives you a kiss and you lose a level. Sometimes that happens. Just for example, if you have to cut out, could I throw in a request channel on the Discord for GUOGC to see if anyone has anchoring to play a certain system? You'll sure. That sensation is the dickening. Yes. Yes. But guys, sometimes that just happens. All right. If you're doing otherwise, that's not a railroad. That's a Shanghai. That's hitting somebody with a rubber sap and dragging them onto the train, and they wake up with no idea of how they got there. Well, yeah, Rob, you do have to agree on the game you're playing, and you know, you can do stuff like say, well, my character is not going to fight at all. I'm going to go open a coffee shop. Well, the rest of the characters are going to go fight the dragon. They're not going to do it with the Ring of Power and the Arkenstone because they decided not to pick up the, you know, you're groping around the cavern floor in the dark. You've lost your dwarves, your wizard in your way. You feel a gold ring under your palm. I'm leaving that shit. Okay. All right. You're leaving it. But anyway, that is my thought on the Matt Mercer railroady DMing situation. But again, I left a short about it. So you guys can go check that out on the channel if you want to. If you subscribe to the channel, you'll get the information on when I drop the short form videos and stuff like the long form video. You guys, like the engagement on that that short about unarmed combat was great. Hey, thank you. 9 months feels like yesterday. Yeah, it sure does. So yeah, there's this there's this you're gonna have the magic user identify the ring. He comes back 17 years later looking very nervous. If you know, you know. Yeah, it's been 9 months, dude. But anyway, yeah, regarding the unarmed combat system, it sucks. If somebody clips this and uses this to nail me to the wall on social media, like makes it go viral, I'll understand because I really shouldn't be saying this. Unearthed Arcana does it better. Go watch the short I did about unarmed combat. You'll see what I'm talking about. Unearthed Arcana does it better. There. Yeah. It's like having a hair in my mouth while I'm trying to eat crackers. Thank you, Paladin Steve. Thank you very much. That is Critical Role has to use the DM redirect because they are scripted. Watch Bill Sylvie's Tuesday night 1 AD&D live play instead. Steve, I really appreciate that. Are you angling to join us on Tuesday night? Is that what's going on here? Are you trying to bribe me? Are you trying to give me money to let you play with us on Tuesday night? Because let me tell you something, mister. It'll absolutely work. I'll send you my PayPal. But anyway. So yeah, that video, both videos did great. And thank you guys for watching those. A couple shorts tomorrow and then a live stream tomorrow and a couple shorts on Friday. Live stream on Friday where we will be playing Blade Runner. And then Saturday, I of course will be doing the Pressure Delver to get you find a scroll of restoration, make a percentage dice roll to see if you can use it. No, cooperative waffles. I said Underwear Arcade. It's a very obscure web comic about two guys who are underwear shit. Sure, Steve. Sure. No, there. I've talked before about the stuff there is to love in Unearthed Arcana. I may do my next short video on that. Not next week, but the week after. But I've already got one in the can for next week. But I may talk about the things that I actually like in Unearthed Arcana. But anyway, note to self: backstab the paladin. Oh no, a Sazerac must have possessed him. Yes, possessed me. Yes. Anyhow, that's just my thoughts on it. So we're going to talk about GUOGC in just a few minutes, but I wanted to do something for one of our I won't say newer viewers, but Rojo, BB, and G. Did you have like a different handle? Because that Krull PFP looks really familiar. So if I'm tripping over something, please let me know. There are less than 3 mics worth discussing. I don't know. Will Paul have his choice of targets if forced to attack the party? We'll see. We'll see what her ladyship wants. So let's talk about this because the request went up to talk a little bit about Crom, and I'm going to do that. So hopefully I don't lose everyone's attention doing this. All right. We'll run through this real quick because there was a request to see Crom in action. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Crom. This is the Character Record Organization Manager software for first edition AD&D. It is not just a character creation tool, it is a character curation and management tool. Russell Miller, comma. Yeah, I can probably get 7 or 8 good minutes out of it. So what Crom is a character generator, but what it also is it is a character manager. It's not on my site, Russell Miller. I send the download link when it is purchased. But anyway, so yes, I did strive for that for that ANSI terminal look there. So with Crom, you can create a character, do a guided auto create for single and multi-class, do a random auto create for single class, a multi-class random auto create, a bard random auto create, a dual class random auto create, or you can load a character. So let's start at the top. Let's create a new character. So let's do this. We're going to create a character. Now, you have the 4 methods you're permitted in the player's handbook, but also a 5th method of manual entry. If your DM doesn't trust digital dice for character stat generation, or, and this is more importantly, if you have a character that you have had for years and you want to put them in Crom to keep track of them from that point forward, that's where you would start. But we're going to start with method 3. Whoops. Help if I didn't hit the slash. Method 3. And so the stats that we got are a strength of 15, an intelligence of 14, a wisdom of 14, a dexterity of 13, a constitution of 14, and a charisma of 14. Not a bad set of stats, not a terrible set of stats. So I kind of have it does allow the true bard. It absolutely allows the true bard. I'm going to go with half elf for reasons. So we're going to select half elf. It tells you your advantages. Infravision of 60 feet, 30% resistant to sleep and charm, secret doors, 1 in 6 when passing, 2 in 6 when searching, detect concealed doors, a 3 in 6 chance. You have selected half elf. Are you sure? We say yes. Choose your gender, male or female. I'm not picky. Let's go female. Now, this is everything that's opened for a half elf with that set of stats. And we're going to do Cleric Ranger. I love Cleric Ranger. That is a multi-class option available. Actually, no, we're not. We're not. And I'm going to tell you why, because I want to show off some features and I want to get it all done in the same. So we're going to do Fighter, Magic User, Thief. We're going to do Fighter, Magic User, Thief. Yes, I'm wasting a good set of stats that would get us a Cleric Ranger, but we're going to do Fighter, Magic User, Thief. So we take 14. No exceptional strength, level for Fighter. Let's say 3, level for Magic User, 3. And level for Thief, 4. Now, we have 7 weapons proficiencies. Just like in AD&D, we pick our weapons proficiencies now. So let's do melee. And you see here's all the standard melee weapons. Well, we're going to do hand axe. We're going to do dagger. We're going to do a bastard sword. We have 4 proficiencies left. Let's back out. Let's go to sticks. Lady in the morning. Oh, wrong sticks. Sorry. That was more of a Tommy Shaw, Dennis DeYoung thing. Let's take quarterstaff. Let's go back. Let's take ranged. You know what? A ranger without a bow is like it's like peanut butter without jelly. So we're going to take a composite short bow, but we're also going to take sling. We have one more weapon. You know what? Let's take light crossbow. There we go. We have 220 gold pieces. Let's go shopping. Now for armor, if we want to keep our thiefly abilities, we cannot have heavier armor than leather. So let's take leather armor. We are going to take a large shield that we're not going to be using all the time, though. So that's going to help. Let's be done here. Now, weapons. We're going to pick up a few. We're going to go melee. So we're going to pick up a bastard sword. We're going to pick up a hand axe. We're going to get a dagger. We're going to back out. We're going to buy sticks. Domo arigato, miss. Okay, I've done that joke already. I'm not doing it again. We're going to buy a quarterstaff. Buck and a quarterstaff. Let's see. Ranged. And we have a sling. Sling bullets. A light crossbow. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 crossbow bolts. I believe I said a composite short bow. We're going to take a dozen normal arrows. We're going to take 2, 3, 4, 5 silver arrows. Take care, Nuriochi. Thank you for hanging out. So there we are. We're going to get some other basic gear. Let's shop for miscellaneous equipment. Now, if I'm not talking about this, guys, so far about 3 minutes have elapsed. So let's get a backpack. Let's get a small helmet. Let's get a, say, we need a couple of quivers. Flint and steel. 3 flasks of oil. 10-foot pole. 50 feet of rope. A large pouch. Water skin. Let's be done. Let's shop for livestock and get ourselves a light horse. Be done there. Let's see. Tack and harness. 8. We're going to get a bit and bridle, harness, saddle, large saddle bags, and a saddle blanket. Let's get some provisions. We're going to get a week of iron rations, a week of standard rations, a pint of good wine, and we're going to be done there. And we're done shopping. Are you sure? Check for psionics. No, of course not. We're going to say neutral good. And we're going to call her Arwen because I am terribly unoriginal. We're going to save this as a text file, but you can save in text or in HTML. Arwen, print this sheet now. We're not going to print this sheet now. Don't have a printer attached to this machine. Would you like to create another character? Yes. Load. Arwen. And here is Arwen. 14 hit points. Really, really good hit points. Half-elf, fighter, magic user, thief, 3, 3, 4. We have spells. Now let's talk about all the options at the bottom and stuff we can do. We can level them up. We can add character levels. We can add XP. We can drain a level. We can change their stats. You find a tome or a librum, get an Ioun stone, get a boon from a god or a curse from a god, and you can change these stats. And yes, when you age this character, their stats will change appropriately. You can change their alignment, which may knock you out of a class. You can add money or subtract money. You can sell gems and jewelry. Let's look at their equipment because they're carrying a lot of stuff. Look at all of this stuff that they've got. They might not want to carry all this stuff into battle. What do? You go, let's say, I don't know, E21. That's now stored. That's 7 pounds we're not carrying because you've got that stashed somewhere. And you can do that with anything. You want to pick that back up? You can equip. And now it's back in our inventory. That's the inventory management. So we exit. Now, if we had the stats, and we don't, and this is a half-elf anyway, we could potentially begin dual class into thief and bring this character into being a bard. But because we're fighter, magic user, thief, we can't do that. It's not going to work. If we leveled up and had a new weapon proficiency, or if we didn't pick them all when we created the character, we could do W for weapon proficiency. If we have more money, we can purchase more gear. But, and I skipped over this, we also have Tome of Spells. Whatever magic user or illusionist you create at whatever level, it will generate initial spells for you. So here's where you can add a spell to their spell book. Or if you had to do an emergency casting out of the spell book per the Unearthed Arcana rules, and it deleted the spell from the spell book, right here, you could come in and remove that. Add a spell, spell 1. There's the spells we know. Charm Person, Find Familiar, Friends, Identify, Read Magic, Shield. And if we get a scroll or something, we can add it in right here. Our 1 second level spell that we know, let's add 2, is Locate Object. So you can see total spellbook management. And that's how you create and manage a character, guys. That's how you create and manage a character. Yes, Rob Turner, thank you. Yeah, yes, your copy's going out day after tomorrow. I'm sorry. That's it. That's how you create a character. And as I tell people, because sometimes people have come back to me and said, oh, Bill, man, you don't have like dwarves. Where's the Dwarven Fighter Cleric option? It's not an option. Well, I'm sure it is. We played that way back in the ages. The instruction manual is the player's handbook. There's a user's guide that comes with it, but the instruction manual for how to use this program is the first edition AD&D player's handbook. Trust me, if it's book legal, it's in here. So, Russell, I tell you what, if you want a copy, if you want to shoot me $25 via PayPal right now, I will send you the download link right now in your email. Pop me an email, bsylvia@gmail.com, and then shoot me the PayPal, the 25, and I will send it to you. Move of 3 inches doesn't sound right. It doesn't sound right because that character is carrying 131 pounds of gear. That's a lot of gear. Oh, what if you, oh, that's easy. So let's go to equipment. And we add an item. Add item. Longsword +3, weight in coins. I don't know off the top of my head what a longsword weighs, what a longsword +3 weighs. We can come back to that. Quantity 1. And there it is. Longsword +3. Bada bing, bada boom. People nattered me for the longest time about what I want to add custom stuff to the inventory. Well, now you can. Now you can do that. You can add stuff to your inventory. You just hit T as add text item. And you can permanently delete things here, by the way. If you have something equipped or stored, you can drop it and it is forever gone from your inventory. Forever gone. So don't save that character if you do that. And you didn't mean to. But that's it. It's that simple, guys. And that is the full bug for creating a character from scratch. Watch this. Guided auto create. G. Character name, Torm. Gender, male. Use psionics? No. Available races, dwarf. Multi-class. Fighter thief. Level 3. Save now? Yes. No. Enter. Load. There you go. Oh my God, look at those stats. Torm is a life breaker and as a heartbreaker and a life taker. I just created a multi-class character, and you might be thinking, yeah, but what about equipment, Bill? What about equipment? Right there, auto equips it. Torm starts with chainmail, large shield, longsword, dagger, backpack, rope, torch, rations for a week, and a water skin. Ka-boom. Russell, Crom is not on the spring site. It's not on the spring site. Rojo, this you cannot add or edit classes. They are hard coded into it. I looked at an engine to do that, and it's just beyond my ability. I'm sorry. So I was saying today, and by the way, yes, you can load auto-generated characters into the editor and tweak them. I was saying today over on Title, I was hanging out with Dean and Jill while Jack is he and the missus are taking care of something important right now. But anyway, no, Rojo, you cannot. And the user interface for the Dungeon Master's Assistant Volume 2 characters was nowhere near as good as mine. It's not. And it's character sheet saving, like text only. I give you text in HTML. Anyway, so that was guided auto create. I was saying on Title today that you can create a character in 3 seconds. Watch this. There it is. I just created Jim, the neutral evil elf magic user, with those stats. Really good stats, too. Didn't save him. Let's do that again. There. Vicky. I'm sorry, Vicky. Why did I say Jill? Vicky. But that's it. I just created a character. You want a multi-class random auto create? M. There. That's it. Just created a character. You want to random create a bard? You know how hard it is to create a bard? Watch this. There you go. There's Tech the Bard. Tech the level 1 bard is created. There's all the thief abilities, druid spells, yada, 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 including equipment. Look at that. That quick, guys. It's that quick. It's that easy. It's that quick. It's that easy. How about a dual class random auto create? Let's see. Thief 7 magic user 2 dual class. Save now. Yes. Nope. And there's the character. It's that easily done. It's that easily done. That's what Crom is. That's what Crom can do. And for the price, by the way, that is not a bug. That is what it does when it quits. The quit function in it is really weird. It freaked me out for the longest time, and I figured out it is actually quitting cleanly. It's just throwing up those weird errors in the terminal, but it is actually properly exiting the program. So there you go, guys. 25 doll hairs. And it's that easy. So if you have any questions, if you'd like to purchase, go ahead and let me know. bsylvie@gmail.com. Now, let's talk about the guac, because that's what you guys came here for, right? The guys, in 3 weeks, the Great Underground Online Gaming Convention is happening. I'm excited about it. I hope you guys are excited about it. What is it? How do you do it? What is the guac? Well, I just told you what the guac was. Weren't you paying attention? The Great Underground Online Gaming Convention is a convention that we have on Discord. We've been doing it now for 6 years, guys. The Great Underground Online Gaming Convention. It is April 9th to April 12th. Its date has kind of meandered, but we are settling on the second weekend of April from now on. That is when the guac will be held. So, how do you get there? You come over to Discord and you join us. What does it cost? Nothing. It costs nothing. You do not have to pay to play at the guac. You do not have to pay to play. You do not have to pay to be a game master. Nothing. Registration, nothing. Yeah, you know. Well, I mean, for what it costs. So let me share the Discord link with you, whether you do this on the web, on your phone, or on your desktop. I do not care. There is the link, guys. There's the link. You can copy it. You can paste it. You can go right there to it. That is the link to the server. That will take you there. And let me tell you what you find when you get there. So I'm going to go over here and hop into the server. And I'm going to share this up with you guys. So here we go. Guac, 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 at the guac. All right, so here it is. This is the Great Underground Online Gaming Convention. God, you reek. Can't you get a shower? Like that smell that you said that you were going to help out around here. And you sit on the couch. You just sit around the couch. Yes, man, right now you stink. But anyway, so here is the guac. When you land here, you might say, well, it's a convention. What's going on at this convention? Guys, we have convention events right here. It is the third channel down. Click that, and you can see events that have been slotted. You can see events that have been slotted. And oh boy, do we have some events. We've got Labyrinth. We've got Dungeon Crawl with OSE. We've got another Labyrinth game that's got openings, but no one is in it yet. We've got Adventures in Shadow Dark. We have Beck Me, The Barrow's Beckoning. We have Dungeon. I'm running a Dungeon game on Thursday. We have Space Hulk. I'm running a Space Hulk game on Thursday. We have, I know we have a Boot Hill game is going on. We have a fair few games that you can hop in to check out. Now, if you want a slightly cleaner view, but you want to keep convention events in mind because it is the easier way to do things. But if you come up to events, you can open up events and that'll show you everything that's coming up. So in order, Space Hulk, Labyrinth, Creature of Rill, Dungeon, more Labyrinth, The Barrow's Beckoning, Cal Arath, Dungeon Crawl with OSE, Labyrinth, Adventures in Shadow Dark, more Cal Arath, Boot Hill, and Tomb of Horrors. So there you go, guys. That is the current schedule, but I know that that's going to be filling up. I know we're going to have more stuff, and we're also going to have some events, which I'm going to tell you guys about here in just a minute. So how, you may ask, how do I join a game? It's very simple. Go to convention events, find a game you want to be in, and click this little green checkbox. That's it. That's all you have to do to sign up for a game. And the next question you might have is, how do I find my game? How do I find my game? I'm going to move the Discord link here. Right over here, there's all these event rooms. At the appropriate time, I will change the event room labels to indicate when your game, or where a game is, rather. All you have to do is, like, if you know your game's starting at 4 on Friday afternoon, at 4 on Friday afternoon, event room one will be the Creature of Rill or Boot Hill or whatever is in that time slot. All you have to do then is just click on the event room, and then you're in that event room. And you just go right in there. And there we are. That's in the, I am in the event room, but I'm also about to leave the event room. Whoops, didn't mean to go in there either. You just click on the room and you're joined. That's it. It's that simple. Now, as far as being a game master, that is really easy to do. First of all, you need to ask me if you want to be a game master. And I'm going to scroll over here because I think, let's see, find somebody who's not a game master and I know they want to be, and I'm going to make them a game master. Let's see. Someone not a game master. You know, I'm going to do this to Don the DM, even though he's not here. Oh, he is set to game master. Dang it. All right, well, I'm going to set Doomsword. He's not here. So, roles. Oh, he is set to game master. Dang it. But his text, oh, it's because he's green because he's an admin. All right. Here, it's going to be graph paper. Roles. That's what I do. That's all I have to do is set you as a game master. Once you are a game master, thank you, Rojo. I'll see you around. Once I set you as a game master, here is the difficult, extremely complex way that you're going to want to pause the video, folks. DVR this. Get a heavy 3-ring binder and pause as you write this down on the many pages that this is going to take. Allow me to demonstrate. / create title. Date time 12/6/2027. That's it. That's it. That's how you create an event, guys. It's that easy. /create. Once you're a dungeon master, you do /create game title and put in the date. It'll suss out what you mean by the date and what you mean by the time. Now, I don't think I put in a time. I did not, so it defaulted to noon. So I'm going to come up here. I'm going to come to events. I'm going to get rid of this because obviously it is not. We're going to cancel that event. We're going to cancel that event. So it's been canceled. So there you go, guys. It's that easy. It's that easy. If you want to put the timestamp on it, so let's do create. We'll do 12/6/2027. We'll do 3 a.m. And see, you didn't have to do any fancy coding. It just picked up that 3 a.m. And now Quest for Fizzbin is once again gone from the schedule. If we scroll down, it's gone from the schedule. It's that easy, guys. It's that easy. You want that server link? I'll get you that server link. Hang on 1 second. Let me get you that server link. Cooperative Waffles, the old GM. I'm looking forward to it. Cooperative Waffles. Let's see. Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Cooperative Waffles, you are now set to a game master. You're not a DM and it allowed you to create an event. It did not add that event to the schedule, though. Your event that you just created is not added to the schedule. So fear not. Orbital Air, you're on travel, man. The con can be wherever you are. The con can be wherever you are. And guys, that's the beauty of this thing. It is 24 hours a day for the entirety of the con. Are you in the UK? Australia? Asia? India? Africa? South America? I don't care. Slot your game when it's convenient for you and your group. Great Old Ones channel. Good to see you. RPG Gen Exile. Anyway, I was getting that con URL for you guys. Give me just a second. Poor Sesh, it must think I've lost my mind. Here we go. One more time. Even Omaha. No Starlink and must interact with fans. I can't help you with that. Unless you want to get them all sitting down and say, guys, get your phones out. We're going to play Dungeons and Dragons. Oh, yes. You do that, can't you? Get everybody to come to GUOC. You all buy a t-shirt and help the old Delver out. Would you do that? No, of course you wouldn't, because you guys never think of me. I'm just kidding. But it's that simple, guys. That's how you create. That is how you join. That is how you hang out and you have a good time. Now, what is something else fun that you guys like to do at a convention? Well, you like to go to panels. You like to go to panels, right? You like to go to panels? Because we've got panels. Artist Alley, Tracy Lesh, Artist Alley, and RPG creator Richard Witters. Author Alyssa Hazel and Babby. I don't think she'll have the Babby there, but golly, what else? Oh yes, author, artist, creator Sky Hernstrom, Eric Garland and Heidi Gygax Garland. How's that for some panels and some discussion and some DMing? How does that grab you? Is that awesome? There you go. Merch. We've got con merch. I've told you guys about it. Look at the thumbnail and look at that awesome, awesome GUOC Sabbath logo that we have got. Very based on the Black Sabbath Masters of Reality. Who doesn't want that on a t-shirt? You do. I know you do. No, not him, you and him. It's got it all, guys. All from the comfort of your own home. No need to travel. No need to worry about getting con crud. Yeah, let's see. Can I start over from the beginning? Hey, guys, how are you? It's good to see you. It's good to be seen by you. Welcome to the show. I, of course, am the one and only Bill Sylvie, a.k.a. the Dungeon Delver, coming to you live, loud and clear from a swamp somewhere in sunny Central Florida. Hey, let me ask you a favor. If you haven't already, please click the subscribe button, click the bell icon for notifications to find out about all this crazy stuff we've done. I'm not gonna do the whole thing over again. Sorry. Railroading. How terrible is that? It's awful. It's the worst. It's the literal worst. Unarmed combat in the Dungeon Master's Guide. Boy. There. I've covered it all. Oh, and Crom is awesome. Make characters with Crom. Buy it. Where can the GUOC merch be found? So that is actually over on Dungeon Ministers. Let's see. I have this in browser history. Let's see, because I don't have it bookmarked. That is very disturbing, Omega. Let's see. So okay, we do not have the new logo up yet, but we have GUOC Past merch and Clericon merch and Dungeon Minister merch. That is where it will be. I'm going to send him the design and ask him to upload that. But that is where you can go and you can get merch. So for the game, the players are running a train on a railroad. You'll wait for the new search. New shirt. That's fine. That's fine. And this, by the way, guys, is the logo in case, for whatever reason, you don't want to look at the thumbnail. Let's see. Where is it? It's not giving me an option. Where is it? Screen share was canceled. Share screen, share screen, share screen, window. There we go. That's our logo. Guys, I got to be honest. I thought about going with Guac Sabbath, but I thought that would be a little dangerous. Now, that is not an artifact on your monitor or something like that. I threw a little noise effect on it to make it look like an LP cover with the little crease and the little fading along one edge. That's on purpose. Guac me Amadeus. I may do that next year. I could steal that. I'm a thief. So that's it, guys. That's the guac. Now, do you guys have any questions? Do you have any questions about guac? Do you have any D&D stuff you wanted to discuss? And while you're talking about that, let me tell you what I'm going to be doing Friday afternoon before I get here. I often talk about the positives that I've encountered out there on the interwebs, particularly on Twitter/X. If you don't follow me over on X because you don't use it, I completely understand. I'm not gonna throw a fit. But one thing I will tell you is you do meet some cool people over there. And it was a few months ago. I think it was well before Christmas. It may have been over the summer. Guac and roll hoochie coo. Oh, I love it. Lordy mama, light my fuse. My thoughts on Nick. No, I've never used that. I've never done that in D&D. I've never done that in D&D. I mean, I play Hero System a lot. Well, I used to play Hero System a lot, and that literally just goes to there's 12 phases in a combat round or combat turn, and depending on your character speed, that depends on when you move. Who's going in the first? Okay. Anybody speed 12, anybody speed 10, speed 9, speed 8. You're speed 8. Okay. You're going in the second. Speed 7, you're speed 7. You go in the third. Speed 6, speed 5, speed 4. Okay. You're going in the fourth. I have not, Rob. I have the PDF, but thank you, Gonzalo. It's been a few years. It's been a few years. You may plug your own work, Great Old Ones. Absolutely, you can plug your own work. I am all about lifting up my fellow creators, guys. For our little corner of the world, I'm a big channel, but I want to share that. Like, I wish everybody subscribed to my channel would go and subscribe to. If I woke up tomorrow and Dungeon Minister was at 9636 and Great Old Ones was at 9636 and Doom Sword and D and Disability and did I say Dungeon Minister already? And Yang Yan Zhao and all these other channels, if they were all sitting just below 10,000, that would make me happy. That would make me very happy. Oh, K Rosa. Okay, thank you for reminding me. Have I ever seen these two? DMs through the ages. What D&D YouTube channels I watch? I just named a bunch right there. I like the Blind Bard. She does really good content. Generally speaking, I like smaller channels. If I'm being honest, Bob the World Builder and Black Magic Craft and those, they don't need my subscriptions. You know, what am I going to post on a Bob the World Builder video and he's going to stop and go, oh, let me interact with you? No, he has 2 million subscribers. He doesn't even know I exist. So I like smaller channels, like a lot of those I just mentioned. But DMs through the ages sounds fascinating. I'll check that out. Sooner or later, Gonzalo Lira's bar tab and I will have a... You better break that into a bunch of episodes for the single round. Who are my favorite Forgotten Realms magic users? All the ones that they stole from Greyhawk. Next question. Yeah, Rob Turner does Beg Me videos and video game live streams. It's good stuff. Anyway, Daniel TUSA, to answer your question seriously, I don't know enough about the Forgotten Realms really to give you a straight answer to that. And that was that all the ones that they stole from Greyhawk was a dig at the Forgotten Realms, like the later, like when it got out of Ed Greenwood's hands, Forgotten Realms stuff. When Wizards of the Coast was like, you know, historically, Mordenkainen has always been a part of the Forgotten Realms. You know, it's like Igwilv, whose real name is Tasha, hangs out in the Forgotten Realms. Bigby, who's now a gnome, get it, goes to Forgotten Realms all the time. I'm like, stop raping my childhood. But that's not Forgotten Realms' fault. That's Wizards of the Coast. Anyway, but yeah, but back to the matter of YouTube channels. That's really kind of how I feel about it. Who went under Ed Greenwood? Elminster, I guess. You know, you got to go with the Gandalf of the Realms, right? And you know, it's a little pat, but I think it's on point. Again, see, the problem is I don't know enough about Forgotten Realms to give a good authoritative answer, and I would feel bad about trying to speak from a position of authority. However, I'm splitting a hotel room with Ed Greenwood this summer at EggCon. Perhaps he'll give me a crash course in Forgotten Realms. Perhaps I can get Ed Greenwood on the show live from EggCon. Would you guys like that? Me, Ed Greenwood, Alan Hammock, hanging out, having a few beers, talking AD&D. Do you want that? If you want that, you'll have to let me know. You'll have to let me know. Because I won't do it if you guys don't want it. I won't do it if you guys don't want it. How do I feel about zone combat? Elaborate on that. Zone combat. A crash course in the Forgotten. I think if the 50 by 50 industrial palette of Forgotten Realms material that exists fell on you, that would be a crash course. Do I ever run Judges Guild modules? I have run No. I have played Tegel Manor, and yes, I like it. The spiral horror combat, Uzumaki. What happens with a level drain? You lose one or more levels that knock you down 1 to 2 levels, but it knocks you down to midway through the lowest level that you're getting knocked down through. So if you get bit by a vampire and they drain 2 levels and you're 10th level, you go down to the middle of the 8th level. Probably the Forgotten Realms gray boxed set. Everybody says that's the one to go with. Anyway, so while you guys are coming up with more great questions to throw at me, because these are awesome questions, met a fellow over on X because I post a lot of D&D content, and as it happens, he's moving to the Sunshine State, and he was waxing nostalgic about his D&D collection from when he was a kid, and showing off pictures of it. And I was like, wow, that's cool. You have got like some low double-digit number Dragon magazines. You've got chainmail there. You've got a Gods, Demigods, and Heroes. You've got a Greyhawk folio. You've got some early 70s third-party press stuff. This is just awesome. And he said, do you want it? I said, what? And he's like, do you want it? And I was shocked to the core. So Friday midday-ish, morning-ish, he's going to be down here in my neck of the woods. I will be taking this gentleman's collection. Now, he gave me permission to take this stuff as long as I either kept it and used it or passed it forward to someone else who could use it. So when I get it and sort through it, we'll be talking about that more on the show. Anyway, so Zone Combat, which sounds like one of those like early 1970s apocalypse movies starring David Carradine. It is 200 years after the Neutronium Wars. The zone leaders control the entire wasteland. One man, Zed of Jek, can rise up against them. And, it's just guys on like 200cc Honda motorcycles with silver painted fiberglass and like swords bought from the mall. The Things Remembered stores when those were actual mall stores. John Saxon. Oh God. Jack Palance. Anyway, so zone combat. Let's zones: 1 melee, 2 far enough away from missile thrown, etc. 3 far out of range for anything. I mean, that's essentially a distillation of how AD&D works. You can melee if you're within 10 feet or so of someone in AD&D. You can charge up to twice your normal movement rate to commit a charge, as long as you have a straight line view of being able to hit them. You can fire missile weapons if you are at least more than 10 feet away. And then if you're further back than that, depending on your missile weapon or how much you want to hit or don't want to hit, maybe you're standing back and casting long range spells or something like that. But it kind of that is a distillation and kind of a very formalized expression of how AD&D combat works. So I'm all for it. I'm all for it. Now it's a little more fluid than how it's being expressed there. Like, a zone, it's not a hard and fast thing, particularly when you're talking about movement. It's like, well, it's my turn. I'm going to move out of melee range. I'm just going to turn around and move out of melee range. Now, this is something, and this I like get irritated at people about this, but it's good natured because people will say, who primarily played newer versions of D&D, will say, all right, I'm going to move away, but I guess that's going to give them that's going to give them I've gone blank. That's going to give them an attack of opportunity. That's what I was thinking. Oh, they're going to get an attack of opportunity. Attacks of opportunity have existed since first edition AD&D. If you turn and run, you're going to be struck. If you're just fleeing out of your zone to try and escape, your foe can strike you at +4 as you full retreat. So yes-ish as far as moving out of your zone, but it does provoke an attack of opportunity. But AoEs did exist in AD&D back in the day. So, pardon my yawning at you guys. I'm a little tired. I didn't get any sleep last night. Just as I started to doze off this morning on the couch, I woke up. And yes, I say on the couch. I wasn't in trouble or anything. But I want to make sure, were there any other questions? Oh, hang on a second. Daniel TUSA, what is my go-to class or race? That is easy. That is a paladin. That is a paladin. For my class, which kind of by definition means I'm human, but I would also do a half-elf fighter magic user thief or fighter magic user cleric or fighter cleric or magic user cleric or cleric ranger. Lots of good stuff there. Now what happens is, so I had a pint last night. If I have any kind of alcohol, more than just a little sip, I will snore. I will snore like an industrial buzzsaw. And it wrecks Mrs. the Dungeon Delver. So on the night, and you guys saw I had a pint last night. I willingly slept on the couch. Wow, you guys are bringing the questions tonight. Did I enjoy the most recent D&D movie? I haven't seen it yet. I need to see it. I haven't seen it yet. I know that it's almost 3 years old now. It is 3 years old now. And I feel terrible. Elf magic user thief is not a bad combination. What is my favorite house rule? Okay, so my favorite house rule that kind of came back and bit me in the ass because I thought it would be such an edge case that it would never really come up. But my favorite house rule is, okay, so in AD&D, there are many options for character injury in AD&D. The most obvious one, and this is what original and basic D&D use, is 0 hit points equals dead. In AD&D, if you want, you can do like -10. Now, the way the AD&D rules say if you're going to do that is, if you're knocked to 0 or below, you are unconscious, you are comatose, and you are bleeding out. You are losing hit points at a rate of 1 hit point every round. Unless somebody stabilizes you, 0, -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, -6, -7, -8, -9, -10. That's 11 rounds, counting the 0th round when you are knocked down. And if nobody does anything to stabilize you, you perish. The end. Is a wood elf druid who focuses on stealth a good build? I mean, only half elves can be druids in AD&D. You can focus on stealth if you get to the point where you can cast silence 15-foot radius on yourself, or use stuff like pass without trace and plant door and so on. But that's a fine route to take. So there you are. Now, if you're, let's say you have 1 hit point and you're struck for 4 points of damage, that knocks you down to below -3 in a single shot, which means you're killed outright. But if you were hit for 3 points of damage, that, or I'm sorry, 2 points of damage, that would knock you down to -2. But anything beyond that, and you're killed outright. But if you're at -2 and you start bleeding out, you don't die immediately. I am not a 5e player, Daniel. I can tell you that right now. Not a 5e player. Not automatically, Rob. They're not. If the party is flying, they are still moving. Their armor's still creaking and clanking. They might be making a faint whooshing sound as they go. So no, not automatically. Anyway, to go back to the house rule. So if you're knocked to 0 or below and you're stabilized, you're comatose for 1 to 6 turns, and you must rest without any strenuous activity, no adventuring, no spell casting, nothing but getting up and walking across the room for the number of days equal to the point at which you were knocked below 0 through bleeding out or what have you, up to 7 days total. So if you brought down to -9 before they stabilized you, after a week, you're back up on your feet. But that includes, like, you come back. Take care, Rob Turner. Be well. The owl bear does steal sandwiches. He will not wait for you to let them go. And sometimes he steals them after you've already eaten them. But so there you are. There's the bleeding out and damaging rules. I house ruled because I thought it would be an extreme edge case if you were brought to exactly 0. You were not bleeding out, and you were not subject to comatose, and you were not subject to death's door. It merely meant you were knocked out cold. Cure light wounds, cure serious wounds, cure critical wounds, application of a potion of healing. Any of those methods forcing a few pints of wine down your throat. Any of those methods for raising your hit points from exactly 0 would get you back in the fight. And I thought that was a edge case. I thought when I implemented that all that was only ever going to come up once or twice ever. So I kept it, and it has come up over and over and over and over. So I have inadvertently saved the bacon of so many characters, but I like the house rule. I like the house rule. It gives some nuance to a character being killed, because it's like that, it's like, how on the big wheel there, for Wheel of Fortune, there's like 2 bankrupts, and there's like this hair thin $1 million. I thought that's what 0 hit points would be. Turns out it's an entire wedge by itself, and people hit it all the time. Am I an experienced DM? I mean, I've been playing D&D since I was 10 years old. I've been playing TTRPG since I was 10 years old. And my first job at a TTRPG table was being the dungeon master. So, I've DM'd for as many as 24 people in one shot. Can't say it was my favorite thing, but I did it. So yeah, I think I'm pretty experienced. House rule: if you are charmed by a succubus, you need to write one of those building story letters every day every day you remain charmed. I'm okay with that. That backwards guitar playing on Are You Experienced is arguably one of the greatest moments in rock and roll music ever. I mean, I've DM'd for Amazon employees, for employees of GitHub. So I think I'm pretty good. Yeah, Greyhawk is my favorite setting. Yes, it is. Greyhawk's my favorite setting. Yes, Jimi Hendrix opened for the Monkees. Oh, you're quite welcome, K. Rosa. I'm always willing to talk. You ask the regulars here. I won't shut up. I won't. But yes, it frustrated Hendrix to no end when he would open with them, because he'd be up there and he'd be playing Foxy Lady, and it was teeny boppers there for the Monkees. Say Foxy, and all these like 14-year-old girls would scream Davy at the top of their lungs for Davy Jones, and it would drive him bananas. So let me see here. So here's a fun thing some of you younger people might not know. The computer game Quake. Hopefully you guys will know Quake. But the computer game Quake has a programming language built into it. It has a miniature implementation of the C programming language built into it. You can open the console, hit the tilde key when you're playing Quake, and start writing C code. It's called Quake C. You can write a game in the Quake engine. I don't mean a game using the Quake engine. I mean, you can write a game. You want to write a text adventure that runs when you open up the console and type in a command? You can do that. What is my go-to monster to give my players a bad day? It's my go-to monster to give my players a bad day. I don't like gimmick monsters. I'm just going to say right now that I don't like gimmick monsters. Honestly, truly, you want to know what it is? Rats, giant rats. 48 giant rats in a party of 5 or 6 characters. Don't care what level they are. I'm going to get to your magic user. I'm going to get to your cleric. They're not casting any spells. I have weight of numbers. You will be bitten repeatedly. Somebody will get the plague. 48 giant rats. I like the Mind Flayer succubus myself, you know. She's all mauve and gray and slimy, but still hot somehow. She got the tentacles on her face. But yeah, I also like the owl bear. Lots of hit dice. It's intelligent. Remember, it's intelligent. It's always angry. Owl bear's my spirit animal. Always angry, always hungry, lots of hit dice, wicked, wicked attacks. Numbers are always better than high-level monsters. Unquestionably. One hill giant is far less scary than the equivalent hit points of kobolds. Hill giant, 8 plus 8 hit dice. That's 18 kobolds. A party of 4 can deal with that hill giant. A party of 4 where everybody's being swarmed by 4 kobolds. Yes, I did know that, Omega. That is a fun story. I'm not overly afraid of throwing the wyvern around. Do I use rats and bats to disrupt spell casting? No. They have to hit. I go by the mechanics. They have to hit. You know, the magic user learns discipline, you know, when they're gaining levels, when they're training at the Collegium Magica, they have to learn how to cast under adversity. But taking damage is just going to break it, period. It disrupts their auric maneuvers. Their orgone is disrupted by being injured. So I should use water weirds more, yes. Nereids, because them bitches can be chaotic evil. You think the succubus is bad news? You get a kiss from a Nereid and you're dead. At least with a succubus, you have a chance to gain your levels back. Now, I know this is going to sound a bit like a meme, but the mimic, but not the mimic you're thinking of. Not the killer mimic that just looks like a chest. No. The friendly, smaller, non-killer mimic that just want to talk. They just want to chat. My favorite is one that looks like a barrel that's standing in the corner of a dungeon wall, and there's like water drip, 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 trip. And so the party's like searching around the room, looking around the room, and I wait till everybody says that they're not looking in that direction. And I say, from the corner, you guys hear, oh, you look over and the barrel's empty. That messes with them. He just wanted a drink. But those mimics will talk to the party. Is it a bag of holding mimics, or is a mimic bag of holding? Would the Necronomicon be a fake mimic? Oh, the Necronomicon fakes be mimics. Maybe. You could have that, I guess. Oh, I know what you're talking. Okay, an army of darkness. Yeah, I guess after a fashion they would be. They didn't really change form, but yeah. When he opens the one and it sucks on his face so hard he ends up looking French. You know the scene I'm talking about. Necktie, nectarine. It's definitely an N word. So, what ending to Army of Darkness do you guys prefer? Dark Future ending or S-Mart ending? Canonically, S-Mart ending is how it ends. Because Ash versus Evil Dead, the TV show, is predicated on the idea that he did make it back to Earth and that the Deadites followed through time to get to him. Oh, gosh, I can't believe I forgot. Yes, Sturges. Sturges, because they have low hit dice, but they attack as 4 hit die monsters. Oh, yeah, the Sturge. Because they have all the lethality, or rather, all the threat of a swarm of rats, but so much more lethality. Sturges. Yeah. I should use Yellow Tank. Thank you. Thank you. I've been wondering what to challenge the Monday night and the Tuesday night groups with. Sturges. There you go. Thank you, Yellow Tang. I appreciate that, man. That was great. I remember when I heard about the alternate ending of Army of Darkness, I saw it on Usenet. Somebody mentioned it on Usenet. I was like, oh my God, I would love to see that. And someone pointed me at an FTP site where it had been uploaded as a QuickTime video. It was right when QuickTime had first come out. And I spent maybe 30 minutes downloading the like 48 seconds or minute and a half, whatever it was, of that scene in a postage stamp sized, like 120 by or 320 by 160 or some god awful resolution. I remember because I ran my monitor in 1024 by 768, but it was a 14-inch monitor, destroying my eyeballs back in my late 20s. And I remember like, okay, I'm going to resize the window so I can see it better. And each pixel was like the size of my thumbnail. But that was how you watched rare videos. Now you go on YouTube and you just type in Army of Darkness alternate ending, and it's like, here it is in 4K with Dolby Surround. We had to work for our obscure videos back then. Sturgis, Sturgis bikers, yeah. Give them either active commoners or treat them as heavy foot or light foot or heavy cavalry. Alrighty, guys. If I start up with any Moon Man stuff, my YouTube channel will disappear. Have I watched From? Oh, I think I know the one you're talking about. No, I haven't. It's on my list of stuff to watch. Yeah, yeah. You know, one there was one back in the early 20, it was like 2011, I think it started, or 2012 that it started. I know it was just after my father passed away, but my wife and I watched it. We watched it religiously for like 4 seasons, possibly 3, I don't know, but it was ABC's Once Upon a Time. Agile Monk, good to see you. Thank you for hopping in to support the channel. You know where the super chat button's at. Yeah, From would make an interesting D&D setting. So, guys, I just want to point out that we are at 9,638 subscriptions right now. 9,638, guys. We are getting so much closer to. Oh, thank you, brother or sister. I make no assumptions. Thank you, Agile Monk. Hey, he's Agile Monk. People say monkeys around. I really appreciate that, dude. I do. But we are drawing ever closer to 10,000 subscriptions on this channel. Quite the landmark. I'm excited about it. I hope you guys are excited about it too. Because when we hit 10,000, that like turns the key. Turn your key, sir. That's not the right procedure. Screw the goddamn procedure. I want to get somebody on the phone before I plan a gaming convention. That's not the proper procedure, sir. We enact the procedure to do the GUOGC, the Great Underground Overland Gaming Convention, and in real life con right here in sunny Central Florida, not here in my house. If you show up at my house, I will be ever so pissed. Absolutely. Yes, the two nuke techs. So here's a funny thing about that scene. You guys have activated my trap card for one of my favorite movies, which is War Games. Let me tell you something. You could take War Games and slice out the middle 90 minutes and give me the opening 10 and the ending 10, and I would be in heaven. Honestly, the launch scare and then talking Joshua back off a cliff are just John Badham. What a genius. What an absolute genius. But I mean, everybody's in it wonderful. John Wood was so amazing, just so heartbreakingly wonderful in that film. I love John Wood. So here's the funny thing about that opening scene. Yes, Barry Corbin. Oh my God. And what I loved about Barry Corbin in that was They didn't show him as an incompetent warmonger. He was conscientious. He was cautious. He was suspicious. He wasn't like, well, get that little shit and shoot him. You know, he was, Barry Corbin's character was the one everybody should have been listening to. Yes, Maury Chaykin and Eddie Deason, Mr. Potato Head. Mr. Potato Head! Back doors are not secrets. Remember when you told me to tell you when you were being very rude and obnoxious? That's what you're doing right now. But yeah, Barry Corbin, just so fantastic in that movie. But anyway, I have read bits that Missile Techs have written and said with slight changes that what you see in the LCC, the launch control capsule at the beginning of War Games, is frighteningly close to the real deal. And then others that have written have said that's not at all how it was. It's two guys separated across the room with the keys. Otherwise, it's not anything like it. So I don't know who to believe on that. But I have seen training videos that the Air Force lets out. It's closer to it than not, or at least it was in the 80s. They've gone to a slightly different system. This is one of the most horrifyingly fascinating things about that. And again, you guys have tripped my trap card to talk about apocalyptic, doomsday, existential threats. Yes, he was in any which way you can. And it is this. So a missile wing consists of 3 flights of 5 silos. So it's 15 silos in a wing. And then they have like a maintenance flight and a replenishment flight. Maintenance flight. This is completely insane, but I guess it's just the kind of thinking that, like, okay, we'll launch our missiles, assuming we don't get hit or destroyed in a retaliation strike. If we maintain continuance of government, we stay put. The maintenance crew will come and re-prepare the silos. The replenishment crew will bring more missiles and rearm the silos if we need follow-on strikes. That is bonkers. That is completely bonkers. But this is the kind of scary thing. So we've all seen War Games, turn your key, sir, we're at launch, yada, yada. So I said that there's 5 silos in a flight, 3 flights in a wing. Flights can launch independently. If a wing gets a launch order, the launch or don't launch is conducted by what's called a vote, but it's not like you pick up the phone or you get on a terminal or you all meet in a room. The voting is done by turning the key. If one missile crew in one silo said, you know what, Bob, what, Jim, let's start World War III. Hey, Odd Scimitar. Hello, how are you? Odd, are you coming to GUOGC this year? Are you going to do something at GUOGC April 9th to 12th? I hope you are. It has been a hot minute since you've been here, Odd. I'm so glad to see you. But sitting in the silo, those 2 airmen or officers or whatever can get their keys, set the launch code, which was all zeros, by the way. That's not an urban legend. The launch code was all zeros. insert their keys and rotate their keys. Now, if the flight is not at launch, if the wing is not at launch, this is going to send alarms all over the place. And what's very likely to happen is very armed and very angry air policemen are going to be coming down that elevator shaft. But if two missile crews in a flight make that decision, 2 out of 5 is considered authorization enough to launch that flight's missiles. Do you need the link to the Discord, Odd? I will paste the Discord right now again. So hypothetically, all it would take would be 4 missile officers or airmen or whatever to, oh, okay, cool. Well, we'll see you there. You are almost certainly set to Game Master status. So hypothetically, any quartet of Air Force personnel with the authorization and the know-how to flip all the right switches and then turn their keys could do that. The Air Force just banks on those crews being loyal enough to not end the world. Anyway, that's your nightmare fuel for the evening. Missile silo launch officers, yeah. It is April 9th to the 12th. We are keeping it in the second weekend of April from now on. From now on, that's when it's going to be. And by the way, I should like to point something out tonight. Tonight marks the 6th year. The 6th year of since this channel has been live streaming. March 18th, 2020, after we were told on Friday that our children are no longer going to school, non-essential personnel were no longer going to their offices, you would line up 6 feet spaced apart because germs respect 6 foot distances, guys. They just do. It's the science. It's the science. That a thin paper mask on your face, all that happened essentially over the weekend. And I sat down over at that PC with a webcam, blue snowball microphone, and I started telling my friends, I'm here for you. Don't feel like you're cut off just because you're stuck in your house. Sit and listen to me talk to me. I'll tell you guys about Dungeons and Dragons, about I'll do a D&D Antiques Roadshow right here. And so it was. And guys, I have always been here for you guys. Always been here for you guys. I have never, ever wanted to do anything other than lift people up with this channel. I love first edition AD&D. I really like original D&D. Basic D&D is pretty cool. I like RPGs in general. I'm not much of a gamer, but I do like stuff. There's an effort to move the officers about wings to make 4 crew conspiracy from carrying. Very cool. I wanted to tell people you didn't need some big elaborate camera setup and Dwarven Forge and cameras and be Matt Mercer. God, guys, don't be Matt Mercer. Please don't be Matt Mercer. To run your games, you didn't have to do that. Hey, Advanced Fantasy Games, thanks for sticking around for a month. I really appreciate it. That's what I've sought to do. To sit back and, to be able to talk to people like Rob Schwab, Lance Havermail, the artist Darlene, the late Jim Ward, you know, Steve Marsh, Skip Williams, Heidi Gygax. We even had Luke on for just a little brief period of time, for just a few minutes back one year. Heidi invited him on. All the small, all the other creators, just people, you guys, like no Mercer, never go full Mercer. Just to say, just to say, hey, you want to come on and bullshit? I mean, how many times have I ever said, yeah, here's Gonzalo, or here's Great Old Ones, or here's Don McVitie, or here's, whoever, just not even a planned guest. And then to have you guys on as planned guests, Wheeling Dragon, I've had her on. Done collabs with Dungeon Minister. I have just wanted over the last few years, the last 6 years, to bring that to you guys. And I'm so glad you sat, and I'm so glad you stayed and listened. I am one lucky son of a bitch. I talk a lot about, oh man, I only got 10 subscribers over 2 weeks. And there's a lot of you guys that I wish you had the same number of subs as me. They're like, yeah, I got 10 subscribers last year, Bill, or 10 subscribers in 6 months. And it's not a humble brag when I say that, because I want to use my platform to lift people up. Whether you're just sitting at home gaming and listening to me and wanting to hear me talk to Alan Hammock about how Ghost Tower of Inverness came along, or whether you got a YouTube channel and you were like, hey, you're sitting there and, I'm like, hey, everybody, go subscribe to this channel over there, and you pick up a couple. I jokingly call it that Delver effect. It's not like I'm, what's his name? Penguin Zero or whatever he is. Are you believing this guy? Look at this guy. There's this fat boomer who talks about Dungeons and Dragons. Hooray for him. Yay. All right. Take care, Yellow Tang. Thanks for hanging out. But if I say go subscribe to this person, and a few of y'all go subscribe to that person, and you kind of kick their metrics up a little bit, man, I'm all about that. I really am all about that. But I know, but millennials and Gen Z call anybody in their 50s and early 60s boomers now. I'm like, hello, I was riding around on my mountain bike listening to Cult of Personality by Living Color on my cassette Walkman, you whippersnapper. And there is a huge difference, and I ain't going to get into it right now. Alan Hammock is awesome. Alan Hammock is fantastic. Roll Tide. Guy's a Tide alumni. He's you know, he's just this cool guy. So guess what I'm saying is, guys, I just want to be here for y'all. I hope I'm here for another 6 years. I hope I'm here for another 10 years, you know? Who knows what the good Lord has in plan for me? Nobody does. But I'm enjoying this journey I'm on with everyone, and I hope we can stay on it together. You just want to be on me. Yikes. Wow. Flattering and yet. But yeah, guys. I just want to be on here for you guys as long as I can. So here's to 6 more years. Here's to 6 more years of the Delver's Dungeon. Will I get another 9,638 subscribers? Probably not. But I definitely think we're going to hit that 2,000 mark before too much longer. 2,000, 10,000 mark before too much longer. I mean, we've only got 362 to go. That's mere hundreds. At this rate, it'll be June, July. By the time we hit that, that'll be a good time, y'all. That'll be a good time. And I just want everybody to join for the ride, and let's have a good time doing it. Kitchen Witch, thank you so much. New subscriber from Kitchen Witch. That is great. I appreciate that, Kitchen Witch. I really do. Do you have a channel, Kitchen Witch? I will throw you a subscription back. Also, since I put your message on the screen, you have to super chat. That's the rules. Don't. I'm kidding. That's not the rules. I joke about that, but I appreciate that. Thank you very much for subscribing. I hope you have found the oddball discussion about pop culture, missile silo procedures, Dungeons and Dragons, and everything else highly entertaining. So anyway, guys, I think with that said, tomorrow starts another year, another trip around the sun for the Delver's Dungeon. Look out, 2 more shorts are gonna hit tomorrow, and 2 more on Friday, and 3 on Saturday, and 3 on Sunday, and so on. And your husband makes you watch me. You can watch that guy. You subscribe to his channel. But I don't care about this. This is fat nerd. Why do I just watch it? You do what you're told. I appreciate it, though. I really do. I really do appreciate it. Oh God, that's funny. That's funny. He makes you watch. Oh, you didn't have to do that. Gosh. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you. So you know what, we'll end on a oh, you know what, no, I got to answer this question. Because Nuriochi asked this earlier, and I'm gonna conclude by talking about this. Was I ever a fan of Art Bell's Coast to Coast? Not hardcore, but yes, I did listen to Art Bell's Coast to Coast. I did. I worked back in the 90s with a guy, a really cool guy by the name of Henry Kong. And Henry had a boombox there in the data center, and we would listen to Art Bell. The funniest thing I ever heard. Now, what I did at that time, was I worked in ACH, Automated Clearinghouse Bank Settlement Software. If you've seen Office Space, we wrote settlement software. We maintained settlement software. And yes, we did a lot of Y2K preparation. Folks, I'm here to tell you, you're one of us. Banks were Y2K ready years before. The whole we have to scramble and get Y2K ready was a psyop. Guys, financial systems were never going to crash. Communication systems were never going to crash. Nuclear power plants weren't going to stop working. Satellites weren't going to fall out of the sky. Missiles weren't going to automatically launch. None of that was ever going to happen. Y2K readiness was a psyop. I was at the heart of it. I know. One night, Henry and I are sitting there just watching the IBM terminals, just watching jobs go. We're basically after 7 p.m., before 7 a.m., if you're doing settlement, you are the lowliest janitor. You are babysitting nothing because ACH settlement's running and it's an automated task. If it fails, it's because something has gone so fundamentally wrong that it is out of production's hands. You're calling the IBM support team. You're calling the programming team. You're calling into ops to tell them to send out 911 pages. So Henry and I are sitting there, and Henry's got Art Bell on. Art Bell has a guest on that night, and this is in 1998. And his guest proceeds to explain that the entire electronic financial network was going to go down on January 1st, 2000, because there were millions of ATMs in the United States, and they're all networked together. And there's no way that they can upload the software to the ATMs in time to make sure they were all white. And all it would take would be one ATM being out of sync, and it would throw the network off because it would send incorrect data through the network to the next ATM, which would pass it on to the next ATM. That's not how they worked. Did you ever go into a 7-Eleven and see an ATM, just a little skinny thing up against the wall back then? Just a little skinny doodad, just a little skinny plastic doodad. Oh, right, Gonzalo, yes. It destroyed society, and we just hid that from the stupid people. If you pulled one of those out, do you know what you would see? A Hayes 2400 baud modem hanging off the back of that thing. Inside of an ATM's guts. Nowadays, they have like quad core and core 2 duo machines, relatively new machines. Back in the 1990s, an ATM was a 286 with 1 to 2 megabytes RAM, or a 386 with 1 to 2 or 1 or 2 megabytes of RAM, a 10 megabyte hard drive, but the OS ran off of a floppy disk. It ran OS2 version 2.01, and it ran on a floppy disk. They were the dumbest damn machines in the world. They were barely computers. I remember when they started talking about smart ATMs that they were trialing in New York and Los Angeles and Chicago, Miami, places like that. And they were like, these things have a Pentium 2. They've got like a Pentium 2 400 and like an SVGA card. We were like, what the hell kind of overkill is that? And they're like, oh yeah, buy concert tickets. Watch like a trailer for the movie you're buying tickets for. And we're like, wow, mind blown. So this guy calls in and he talks about how one ATM is going to throw the entire financial world into higgledy-piggledy. And I looked at Henry and I said, do you want to call in? Because Henry and I were sitting 5 feet. There was a glass wall separating us from it. We were sitting 5 feet from the computers that were responsible for all financial settlement on the eastern half of the country, from the eastern Mississippi, from the east shore of the Mississippi to the eastern seaboard, over in Maitland, Florida. I said, Henry, we got it. And he's like, no, man, no. Somebody recognize us. Somebody it's funny, but we can't. Henry was a Jamaican guy. He was Chinese, but he was Jamaican. He looked like Master Po from Kung Fu and had this thick Jamaican patois. Loved the guy. But we were laughing our asses off because we're like yards away from machines that had been Y2K ready since 1996. And this lunatic is like, the ATMs are going to take all the, and Art Bell's like, yeah. So, we're not ready for this, right? We're not ready for this. No, Art, we're not, they're not ready for this at all. I can tell you, I work on ATMs. I work in banking computers, and he starts going on about how like an ATM communicates, and of course it's completely fucking wrong. So that's my Art Bell story. And yes, I like Art Bell. And I'll tell other Art Bell stories another. I've been going almost 2.5 hours now, guys. I am beat tired. I did not sleep last night. So I'm going to close up after having answered Naruichi's question, even though they were not here. Sorry about that. And I'm going to say thank you to Paladin Steve for being a member for 9 months, for the super chat, Agile Monk for the super chat, and for being a member for a month, Advanced Fantasy Games for being a member for the month, and Kitchen Witch for her donation of $5 and not turning me into a toad for laughing at my husband makes me watch your show. So guys, I'll be back tomorrow night. Who knows what we're going to get into then. I don't know, Tolkien outrage or something. I'll figure it out. But until then, be good to each other. I do love you all. I mean it. Happy anniversary to the show. Thank you for sticking around with me. Onward and upward, everybody. And you know what? On your way out, give the owl bear a gentle little hug, and he'll give you a gentle little hug back, not for any damage at all. Because the owl bear, don't tell him I said this, he loves you guys. Peace. Good night. Take care.
Have you seen my owl bear? Here's to all the weirdos everywhere, in the woods and in the air. Have you seen my owl bear? Should I shave off all my hair? Bobs are all around, some live in tunnels underground. Some are fat, some are rich, some are sleeping in a ditch. Can you ride a crooked horse without a saddle, way off course? Naked as a toad, all the way to Smoky Joe's. Have you seen the little creep Driving fast in his little green Jeep, he smells like fish and brandy, but his rotten teeth look dandy. Take me to the show, I don't care if fast or slow. From action flicks to dancing dicks, just take me to